Hey, I'm Lorenzo Clark, and you're here with Vegas Nonstop, starring Jonathan Scott.
Hey, that's me. I am Jonathan Scott. Welcome to Vegas Nonstop.
Vegas Nonstop.
Coming to you live from Ahern's Luxury Boutique Hotel.
Yes, the Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel on Sahara, across from Sahara.
300 West Sahara. And we're here with the owner and classically trained concert pianist. Did I say it right?
You did.
Ryan Ahern.
Yep, that's close.
That's close enough, right?
It's close.
He's a world champion piano player and a great show pianist and an amazing entertainer and one of the owners of the hotel.
Were you sad that you couldn't go to the Olympics this year for the World Piano Championship?
Very sad.
I didn't know there was a
I didn't
category
think
for
about it.
that.
But,
And, of course, sitting next to Lorenzo, Enoch Augustus Scott, star of Zombie Burlesque.
Word up.
And sitting next to Enoch, the headliner tonight, Zach Waldman. Feature.
Zach, yeah, you're right. He's the feature tonight. Yeah, he's
I
the
don't know
feature.
the difference between a feature and a headliner.
They're all funny. That's the amazing part. That's for our A-Stars comedy show. But I think first we want to talk about Ryan's show we got coming up here.
Yes.
That's September the 1st. That's Labor Day weekend. September the 1st, the Sunday night, Ryan Ahern in concert with the full PBS orchestra.
yes, so it's,
PBS.
you know, you had said it was
Slide the mic down a little bit.
classically trained, and I am, but the show is very contemporary. So
Okay.
I'm a champion boogie woogie player. We do music from the movies, John Williams movie scores, Maroon 5, Queen, Seal, the whole Disney songbook, contemporary and classical songs.
Yeah, it's an amazing
so it's
show.
Great. Yeah, so I got my full PBS orchestra with me. It's going to be a 10-piece orchestra. I got Andrea Bocelli's percussionist coming in to do the show with us.
And Charles drummer. We got Doug Tan, the man.
Yeah, question.
Yeah, Doug
What,
Tan.
when you say PBS orchestra, you mean the orchestra that you appeared with on your PBS specials? Or
Yes,
that's the same?
that's what I mean.
Right on.
Yep,
That's awesome.
my Emmy-nominated PBS specials.
Nominated.
Yes, twice Emmy nominated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
I was with some kids the other day, and I mentioned Boogie Woogie Piano. They didn't know
Yeah.
what I was talking about.
No, how would they? Nobody
Kids
really
know
knows.
nothing.
Is it 12 to the
Yeah.
bar? Would that be considered Boogie Woogie?
8 to the bar is more accurate.
8 to the bar.
Yeah. You can put 12. You can put as many as you want in the bar. Okay.
And while you're at the bar,
Yeah.
pick up some alien tequila.
Yes.
There's an abduction in every
Yes,
bottle.
we'd like to thank our sponsor for this episode. Of course, the amazing Alien Tequila, our one of the curators of and owners of the company, Mr. George Harris.
Harris.
Is,
We've been known to belt out a song or two.
great man. He is an amazing singer.
Yes,
I
he
know
is.
his
Yeah.
don't
go-to
even-
song is My Funny Valentine.
He does nail that one.
song.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
That's his go-to
pretty
song.
Pretty much any of the
Shout out.
Sinatra songbook, he can absolutely nail. And I might even get him up on the first.
That'd be fun. That'd be
Might
fun.
have him come do a
Yeah.
song.
So if you go to an
The
event,
round, which I love. I love anything in the round.
it's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are doing the show downstairs on the new concert stage. It is in the round, and we have our VIP booths, which is a new release for us here at the hotel. So right down front, we got they're basically 6-seat VIP, kind of like you would see at Hakkasan or some kind of lounge.
Some fancy nightclub.
Yeah.
Now, I've been trying
In
to
front of the
count, and I
stage.
haven't. How many pianos are on the property?
So there's a handful of pianos. Yeah. Every opportunity I can get to put a piano somewhere, I do.
Yes.
And, so I got my big 9-foot concert Baldwin, which I'll be using for the show. We got a handful of digital pianos around the property.
Got the Cherrywood one and the
Yeah,
Chop House.
I
And
got
Joel's
it.
Chop House, our 5-star steakhouse on property.
Yeah, I got one stuffed over there at the Chop House.
And a little baby grand that they use in the
yeah, for the Michael Leonetti
Supper Club Experience
Supper Club
show. That's
show.
Now,
Saturday.
for your September
Saturday and
1st
Sunday
show,
night. Yeah.
What time is the show at? 7?
So the show's going to start at
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Doors open at 7.
Yeah.
So if you want to make a really great night of it, book yourself a table at Chef Joel's Chop House.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people are doing.
Yeah.
They're going to come to dinner about 5 o'clock, have a beautiful dinner,
Delicious.
and then go on down, get seated for the show.
And
then
the
show
Chop House
starts.
has floor-to-ceiling windows that you can see the view of the Strip. It's really amazing at the Chop House. Then after dinner, you come to the center stage down on level 1, where Ryan's going to be with his amazing orchestra for an amazing show. You're going to love it.
And I like to talk about the property that there's free parking here. It's a non-gaming property.
Covered parking. It's 112 out.
Yes.
Yes, you park
Covered
in
covered
parking.
you park in the shade and for free.
Yeah.
So tell us some of the songs that you mentioned. John Williams. You're going to do some John Williams.
Yeah,
in this
so
show?
so I love movie scores. I do a lot of writing for TV and film, so I'm always a fan of those big, sweeping musical scores. So we'll probably pull some things out of Superman and maybe Jurassic Park. I'm building the show right now as we speak.
Do you know
but,
the words to the Jurassic Park theme song?
No, why don't you enlighten us?
Jurassic Park, it's an awesome park. It's a park where we can go. On and I won't bore you with
Is
it.
that
no,
really?
no,
Is that really? You're
yeah.
making that up.
I'm actually going to do
Hey,
the
look, I'm a T-Rex. I'm a
instrumental
T-Rex.
version
Hey,
of
I'm a
that song.
T-Rex.
I've just
most people prefer the
I've just
instrumental
decided that the instrumental version is probably more impactful.
Are the
For my
electronic pianos,
audience.
it's a silly question, but it's good
No,
as...
it's a good question. I've got some of the best money can buy as far as digital pianos go, and they're not even close to a real piano. Like any Sears pianist will tell you, as good as they are, and they're fun to play, and I love to practice on them, and I can put the headphones on, and I can change the sounds and have a bunch of fun with it. But nothing's going to compete with the real strings, the whole timbre of the wood, the pedal action, the weight of the keys. As hard as they try, they just can't nail it just yet. But they're not bad.
And we talked about like a cherry wood. Or does the wood have anything to do with the sound in the piano?
Not really. Like, there's only a few pianos, in my opinion, that the wood really matters. And like if you get a Fazioli, they got their own forest of wood. It's the same wood they make the Stradivarius violins out of.
Wow.
But they're $300,000, so you don't really see those very often anywhere.
Will they take a check?
Can we talk about what would the world champion? What would that? Where do they have it? Is it like in Vienna or someplace really cool that when you did that?
So it was the International Liberace Piano Competition is where it all began.
And that's after Lee had
Shout
already
out
passed.
to Susan Jane.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
This-
All of
So,
my
so
friends
after Lee had passed, as part of his legacy, he created this competition.
Yep.
And-
And it's an international competition.
Is it here in Las Vegas?
Yes, it was hosted here. They don't do it anymore.
Oh, they don't.
No,
Oh.
but when I was doing it, it was pretty hot stuff. It was
I went-
finalists
I
from all
just-
over the world.
Earlier this year, there was a bunch of Liberace stuff that was going on that I've known Susan for a long time, and I've gone to the museum. In fact, I hosted the Liberace Car Museum when they opened the car
Yeah.
museum. Jonathan Warren opened that.
Yeah, there is so much great paraphernalia, from his legacy, all over.
My friend Mike Clark, who's a great piano player as well, was one of the thrills of his lifetime was to be able to sit down and play Liberace's piano.
Wow.
The one with all the mirrors on it.
I think I've played most of them. Yeah, there's the rhinestone one, there's the mirrored one, there's all the gold leaf. He had a whole bunch.
So tickets are available on Eventbrite.
Yes, you can link over from ryanahern.com, and on there you can see some videos and clips from the PBS specials if you want to kind of understand what the show's about a little bit more, and it'll link right over the tickets. Or you can go to ahernhotel.com, of course, and link off at the calendar page, or just go straight to eventbrite.com and search for it.
Well, we know you've got a hotel to run, so we're going to...
Yeah, I got to run.
From
but,
this, thank you so
thank
much
you for having me.
RyanAhern.com.
absolutely.
September
Yes.
1st.
Woo! Yes,
Everybody,
exactly.
bye-bye.
All right.
And we're going to slide everybody down a little bit
Yeah, come on down.
and talk about what else is going on here at Ahern Hotel in the world of comedy.
Oh, yes.
So I know Bob Golub is sleeping. We're trying to wake him up so he could join us
Are you going to
today.
join us? Or?
Yeah, Bob was
Zach,
on
you
the...
want to
Yeah.
slide over next to Lorenzo so
There
we
you
can put
go.
you on the
All
firing line here.
right.
Yeah.
And then a little bit for you regular viewers, we are going to play Truth or Brown Sugar, and today's show is going to be Saved by the Bell.
Woo!
Enoch is going to help us
I
out
didn't
with that.
Saved by the
I didn't
bell.
realize we'd have an actual Zach here.
This isn't the first time I've been this close to Lorenzo. You think I'd be uncomfortable, but spent a lot of years partying with this guy.
Strangely not.
Next weekend, David Diebel.
Yes, the great David
I
Devo.
love that guy. Good
Let's
friend of
do a
mine.
recap. How did Rondell, my king, do?
Rondell killed it. Rondell Sheridan, absolutely one of the great stand-up comics, and had 2 sold-out shows here last weekend.
And he showed up exactly as we finished the podcast.
I met him in
yes.
the parking lot. I didn't even tell you.
That's right.
He said, all of a sudden, I'm sitting in the car getting the air conditioning going, and there's a tap on my passenger window, and it's Rondell. He said, "Are you pulling out?" He wanted my parking spot. So I jumped out, threw my sport jacket on, took a quick picture with Rondell, and got it up on social media. And we shared
Because
a
if
couple
it doesn't end up on social media, it doesn't happen.
That's
I thought
right.
he just texted it to me.
I said, you missed it by about a minute. Richie Minervi's coming up later this month. I've met Richie before. Actually, I think he's been on television with me.
Oh, yeah.
And then the big news, Paul Rodriguez.
That's
what a
right.
coup. What a great booking for Mexican independence, September 16th.
That's right. The real Mexican Independence Day is September 16th. It's not Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo is not a Mexican Independence Day, and in fact, most Mexicans will tell you it's a gringo holiday. So
I think it's a drinking holiday.
well, it's a drinking holiday. And we're
Most
going to.
white Americans would tell you it's a gringo holiday.
That's right. So we're going to celebrate the actual Mexican Independence Day, which is September 16th, with a grand fiesta. So
Yeah,
we're
so
gonna,
it's like a 4-hour thing.
yeah, we're going to have Paul Rodriguez as our big headliner. Before him, we're going to have Banda de Sinaloa, which is similar to mariachi. It's a 12-piece band with lots of horns.
cow. In this room?
No. This is all downstairs.
Jesus, I was about to say, Jesus Christ.
This is all downstairs on the big stage. So the same stage that Ryan Ahern is doing September 1st, we're doing this show on September 16th.
Paul's going to do comedy in the round.
Comedy in the Round with Paul Rodriguez.
I love it.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great show.
I talk about Chicago a lot, and I talk about...
When have you ever spoken about Chicago?
Well, my first job was at
That's
the Mill Run
crazy.
Theater in Chicago. The Mill Run
never
Theater
mention it.
was in the round, and all the entertainers, I saw like Toady Fields, I mean, I saw everybody, because Sammy Davis Jr. owned the theater. But it was in the round,
I mean that,
and
man.
the stage would turn.
Wow.
So the entertainers never
I love
knew.
a Lazy Susan. That's what it was. I went and saw Ex Burlesque recently, and they had this great moment where this sort of showgirl moment where she's on, and there's a tiny little Lazy Susan, and it just turns.
Angela and Matt Stabile.
Yes.
They've got ex-burlesque and ex-country. And
They have really production numbered out that show.
yeah.
They have spare
You know,
no expense.
Matt's father managed Jerry Lewis.
Wow.
We play a little game, Zach, just so you know you're new to this.
Oh, yeah.
We like to play a little game where we reference the oldest person, like, the name of the
name
person
dropper.
who was born the farthest away from today wins about 8.
Let's find out a little bit about our guest, Zach. Zach Waldman, professional comedy magician who specializes in corporate events and private parties.
That's
Woo!
me.
You can stop me anywhere in this.
Oh, I like hearing about myself, so keep reading.
When Zach was about 6 years old, Burger King
All right,
copied
that's good.
McDonald's their Happy Meal with kids' meals of their own. Most people don't remember this, but Zach was a guy who played the part of the Burger King, and he was a magician.
What are you talking about?
It's on your website.
No.
As a result, their kids' meal came with magic tricks, which is where
Wow.
Zach got his first one, and he still has it after all these years.
That is so close to truthful. No, what happened?
Play the Burger King
I was
on the commercial.
no, yeah, and that is not on my website. I don't know who read that. Yeah. When Happy Meal first came out, Burger King copied them, and the Burger King, that guy, whoever that was,
And he was a magician.
I
Burger
was
King guy.
exactly, and I was like 5
Is it
years
the one
old.
with the mask?
No. There
The
used to
guy.
be a guy
Yeah.
that was the Burger King before that he was replaced with that weird, creepy thing, and he was a magician.
Calm down.
And so Burger King,
like the weird, creepy thing.
Burger
We have an
King
hour.
started giving away magic tricks, and I still have that first magic trick I got in that Burger King kids meal. But no, I was 5. I was definitely not the Burger King. That guy was.
You know, I still have the license plate from the car that my father drove when I first wanted to become a magician.
Wow.
That's a David Copperfield story. Never mind. Can I tell you, Burger King still has awesome...
So, and when I was
If you go see the Copperfield show, he actually has the winning lottery numbers that are embossed in the license plates that belong to his grandfather's Oldsmobile.
That's what
Something
it is.
like that.
Oh, I
yeah.
haven't
It's an amazing
You
show.
haven't
Go see David Copperfield. When you're
couple
done,
of
when
friends-
you're done seeing Bob Gullub, Zach Waldman, and me this weekend for the A-Stars Comedy Show here at the Ahern Hotel on Sahara, across from Sahara, sponsored by Alien Tequila.
And
Are they going to be there for Mexican Independence Day?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Alien Tequila is sponsoring, and we'll be doing a free tequila tasting at the Mexican Independence Day Fiesta that we're having on September 16th.
Let's start now.
And we'll just get 4 straws.
No, we can share a bottle. The Cowboys.
Like the Cowboys.
we're working
I
on
will
it.
say that bottle is getting emptier.
Well, it does come right out of the bar.
I was pouring it in my coffee last week. I didn't get coffee today. But I used to get, Marshall Fields in Chicago had a magic department. And every year at Christmas I'd go and I'd get a new trick. And when I was 5, my grandparents had a French poodle, Pierre, that would bounce a balloon on its nose, and I would charge the kids a nickel, and I would do the cup in the vase.
Wow.
And you know, the little balls that would, the red foam that you did, those little basic.
And you didn't stick with magic.
Magic.
You threw
I
your
was the
life away
great
doing life.
Is that Bob Gollum?
Yes, it is. And now joining us, the amazing Bob Gollum, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for him.
They don't have to move the camera.
Bobby?
Yeah.
I didn't do drugs any longer. If I had done coke, I would be able to get up.
From your bio, it looks like you did enough.
What do you think of the interview? That was nice, huh?
Oh yeah, fantastic, great
I
job.
was trying to mention both you guys' names, and they're going like, it's here.
That's right. We're on the air.
Yeah, we're live right now.
They went like this.
We're finding all about Zach
It's the time to wrap it
and
up.
Burger King.
Yeah.
Zach fell in love with magic and got his, and as he got older, you got your mom encouraged you to put together an act and charge money. Kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And your mom actually
Hey.
pushed you towards being a professional entertainer.
That's true.
That rarely happens when mom pushes the kid.
But
to
wait, there's more.
She knew I was.
She knew what she was going to do.
I
Right?
had a mama rose too. I mean, I had a
Mama
mama
roast?
rose. She didn't. Yeah.
Magicians are a certain breed. My mom knew, like, yeah, it's not gonna work any other way. He better just keep doing magic. I just came from a magic convention
Oh,
that just
God, don't
ended
tell me.
last night.
Did you get to? I have a question. Sorry, finish your.
No, that's all right.
Where
Go
was it?
ahead.
The Magic Castle?
Are you on the council that got to kick off Murray's Sasha?
No,
Monday is how you hope to be.
I like Murray.
I love Murray. I love.
That's mine.
That's
Actually, you can grab that one over there.
Here.
Or there's a brand new one here.
Oh,
There you
thanks
go.
so much.
Here, we'll take this, put that.
Zach was born in North
Did you move
Miami,
it over?
Florida.
North
Graduated
Miami
from the
Beach.
University of Central Florida, moved to New York City to work on the Howard Stern Show.
That's true.
Did you work with my friend Jackie the Joke Man Martin?
I did. Jackie was my favorite person on the show. I love Jackie. Yeah.
Jackie.
Shout out to Jackie.
Shout out
I
to
got,
Jackie the Joke Man.
I got fired from the Howard Stern Show for streaking a show live on the air.
Shut up.
And after they kept me on the air, yeah, I streaked the show. They had me on the air naked for 45 minutes. They had me escort Luke Perry into the studio naked. 5 o'clock, they fired me, and Jackie was the guy that walked me out to the elevator.
Did you have clothes on?
And you heard it here first.
Well, hopefully we're going to have Jackie here at the Aher.
Wait, were you clothed when they walked you out, or did they walk you
Yeah, sort of.
just a cardboard
Yeah,
box?
yeah.
Was it the nude or was it the size?
Yeah, they were all very envious.
Do you think it's
If it was so envious, you'd be on the show. You know, I mean,
maybe it took them 45 minutes to realize you were naked?
Yeah, I am very hairy, so that could be it. But yeah, I
So
say
that's your fond memory of the Stern Show.
there you go. No, I say that magic conventions, people don't know that that's a thing, but that's a thing. That and this is it happens at the Orleans Hotel. It's the biggest magic
it
convention in America, and you have never seen a
That
bigger
many geeks
group.
in one room.
Yeah, Geeks doesn't cover it. It is
It must
the
be like an
they
insult.
did have a
convention.
Tropicana, but that's disappeared.
it is the biggest mix of the most brilliant, creative, and
that's
oddest
good.
people all together. Yeah, yeah. It's a. If you're a woman, stay away from New Orleans in August during the Magic Convention because a lot of these guys have. They will show you more card tricks than you've ever seen in your life.
So last week I brought up Carl Ballantyne.
Yes.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
Ballantyne.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And because you were talking, whoever was here was
Yeah.
talking about that kind of. Was it you?
Well, I mean,
You and Donnie that did the-
Carl Ballantyne is certainly an inspiration and probably an inspiration to any comedy magician. People will remember him from McHale's Navy, from the TV show McHale's Navy,
McHale's
talking about
Navy.
really black and white TV, folks, black and white TV. McHale's
references
Navy,
only
but
get
he was a
better.
comedy magician, and he created an act called The Great Ballantyne, This World's Greatest. And there's not enough word to write the word magician. And then when they finally put the word magician, he spelled it MAGSHEN. So anyway, so he created one of the greatest comedy magic acts of all time. So any comedy magician will have to doff his hat to
Absolutely.
Great Ballantyne.
A very good friend of mine, my best friend, was married to Chris Kenner for a while. So I would go to parties at his house, and me being a theater person, I would see little groups of guys like standing around. I was like, oh, they must be doing drugs. And then I'd go up, and they would be doing coin tricks at each other.
Chris Kenner is the right hand man to David Copperfield. So yeah, so he's a genius magician unto his own. So.
My next note says that you work for Kenny Kramer, the real Kramer from Seinfeld.
Yeah, the Kenny Kramer is the guy that the character Cosmo Kramer was based on, and he had a tour in New York City called Kramer's Reality Tour. And the first hour of the tour was in a theater. He was a comic too. Kenny was. He used to open up for rock bands on the road.
Oh, wow.
And,
That's a tough gig right there.
Yeah, and opened up for Three Dog Night. He's as amazing as you would think that there's a character based on him. And the first hour was in a theater. He would show old videos of Larry David doing stand-up, clips from that show Fridays, and And they would talk about how
Yeah, he
things.
was on Fridays, wasn't he?
Michael Richards was.
Michael Richards.
And so was Larry. Yeah, Larry was on
Larry
there.
David
And
was.
That's where he found it.
yeah. And so you talk about
Was
how.
Julia Louise on that as well?
No, she was on SNL.
Well, I know that.
Yeah,
And
but she was not on Fridays.
well, how? Yeah, she never really got any screen time on
She was in the
SNL.
Practical Theater Company out of Northwestern University,
played
where she met
Maria.
Brad
Brilliant. I think she's brilliant.
Yeah,
She's
so-
certainly proven that in her career.
Yeah, Larry and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, they used to kind of commiserate because none of Larry's sketches were getting on the air, and she was never getting any screen time.
Yeah.
And so they both were kind of like, "What's going on here? How we're being ignored?" But yeah, and then he would take them on a bus tour of New York, and it was a sign. He'd go to the Real Soup Nazi, the diner they eat at, the chocolate babka place, and it was a great time. Seinfeld, they did an episode where they spoofed his tour, and people would come on our tour and they'd go, "Oh, did you get the idea for the tour from Seinfeld?" It's like, no, it's the other way around. It was the Peterman reality tour on the show.
Oh, the Peterman.
Yeah,
Jay
and
Peterman.
so Kenny Kramer, great guy, and after Howard Stern fired me, the real Kramer hired me. So,
Then you moved to Chicago, my hometown, and you attended the Players Workshop, Second City. I think that was Del Close's Players Workshop.
no, Del Close was at Improv Olympic.
No, Del Close started Second City.
Yeah, but he was at
The Compass
Improv.
Players.
Yes,
And then with Charna Halpern, he started.
Improv Olympic,
I know,
but he
yeah.
wasn't at Players Workshop at the Second. Players Workshop at the Second City was separate from the Second City. It was the original training.
Joyce Sloan.
What was the name? I forget.
Joyce Sloan.
I can't remember. Was that it? Maybe.
Well, who was in the company when you were there?
I can't remember
Nobody
the
famous.
names. Yeah, well, they were well-known people. I mean,
Yeah.
so that was the original training program. But then the Second City developed their own training program, and
So this was before that.
the Players Workshop was before the Second City developed their own program.
Okay.
And then they both existed at the same time. And I was out in Chicago, did sketch, stand-up, and improv out there. And what do you have next on your list?
You finally landed in Santa
Then the
Monica.
Improv Olympic moved to LA. So
We're going back to Burger King. Now, you landed in Santa Monica, where you've been living since 2000. You're clearly running from the law. I don't know about that, but lots of stories. They're all going to be long.
and the Comedy Store in LA. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love the Comedy Store. The
a comedian
improv.
and a magician, and a picture of you with some famous scientists, Nobel Prize winner David Baltimore. That's all I've got.
Oh, okay. All those celebrity pictures, you went with the Nobel Prize. I got a whole wall of celebrities.
Who are the other
This is
celebrities you
classy,
might
baby.
like? Give us three. Like,
Joni Mitchell,
There's one.
Seth MacFarlane, Sugar Ray Leonard,
There's
Whitney
three right there.
Houston.
That's three right there.
I was
Way
gonna
more
give
famous
you an
than-
extra. Yeah,
Whitney.
yeah,
Then the Nobel Prize winner.
yeah. The Nobel Prize
Did you say
winner.
Whitney Houston?
Yeah, yeah. That was
Pretty cool.
Okay, it's
I
Bob's
want to
turn.
make $1 million.
No,
That might be Tina Turner. That's Tina Turner.
Whatever, close enough.
Hey, once you guys swap places, and
You could take center stage, Bob.
you can take center stage, Bob. Round of applause for Zach Waldman, everybody. Yeah, fantastic show for Very good, very good.
Here this weekend, today.
Just like on
my boy
the
here,
Carson
man.
show where they would
Thursday,
move
Friday,
down
and
the
Saturday.
couch.
So tonight.
That's right. Tonight, Thursday, and then Friday night and Saturday night, the next 3 nights, we have the great Bob Gullen right here.
Born September 6th, 1957.
Woo! What's that? That's my birthday.
Bob just woke up.
What's that?
Yeah, I said you just woke up.
Well, I'm like,
He was up early this morning doing the news. So,
yeah, and
so
I got up and I dealing with this thing here,
Uh-oh.
cancer. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's gone. I got rid of it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm just, clearing up. I'm talking about it tonight on stage. I talk about everything.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Why hide?
Oh, I'm going to start with Yak Shamash.
No danger there.
Yakshimash Dobja.
Dziękuję, panie.
Are you Polish?
It's Polish enough.
I was just, I did a show in Krakow, Poland.
You know, there's more Polish people in Chicago than Warsaw.
I have a
Correct.
question. How many of them did it take to change the light bulb?
Oh man, you see, that's okay. That's okay. But as long as you could do Polish joke, that's how I could do Jewish and black and everything else jokes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It was funny. Polish
I'm
jokes
not
got
Jewish or black, so
replaced,
go ahead.
years ago by blonde jokes. All the old Polish jokes were turned into blonde.
Yeah,
actually-
all the
my
same joke.
Actually, they're also Newfoundland. So like
Right, in
you
Canada-
take the
in
same
Canada-
type of jokes,
in Canada they do
and you
Newfie
just
jokes,
do
yeah.
Newfoundland, just the type of same thing,
Yeah.
I don't look to me. Like I embrace it. I love it. I don't care. You know.
Yeah, in Scotland they do jokes about the Irish, in Ireland they do jokes about the Scottish.
Yeah, you know, so it doesn't. I grew up with it. But you know, the thing is about being like. Okay, I'll give you an example. Like I'll do it tonight. So in my hometown of Pennsylvania, this guy said to me, "Hey, Bobby," he said, I talk like that. Western Pennsylvania, right by Youngstown. He goes, "Oh, why are you going to Poland?" I go, "To perform." But why? I said, "To perform and make money." But you don't speak Poland. I said, "I don't speak countries." "You mean Polish?" Can I say what here? Am I good? Can I say what I want?
Yeah, say anything.
All right, you dumb dago prick. You're gonna call me dumb? You're gonna call me dumb by asking me if I speak Poland? You know, he goes, "Well, you know what I meant." No, I didn't know what you meant, or you would have told me what you meant. But go ahead. But it was great. It was great. And I was over there when we got attacked.
Oh wow!
I was over in Poland when they got attacked. So
Which time?
Well, Poland.
1941.
We've been attacked a few times.
No, so I'm over in Poland, and where I grew up in Pennsylvania, I don't know where you folks grew up, but there was tornadoes, and they would have these sirens that went off. So when I go to places, I stay like, I don't know about you guys, I want to stay I stayed in a Polish hotel, you know, everything. So I just go down, and I go, "Hey, that siren is there a tornado?" She goes, "Oh no, we got hit by a missile." I go, "What do you mean we got hit by a missile?" And accidentally, Ukraine shot a missile and it hit Poland and killed 2 people. So I was over there when that happened. It was world news.
Scary.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It was, you know, I still stayed. You know.
Yeah.
You weren't afraid of Ukraine.
Steel mill town of Farrell, Pennsylvania.
They keep saying Farrell, but I'm from Sharon. I don't know why. You're pulling up my
Oh, you
bias.
should see what he said about me. I was the Burger King. So, I don't know.
You know what happened was, you know, that's you're getting a link on that thing they put on. What's it called?
AI.
Ah,
Yeah, everything's from AI.
no, but the guy did this, and I did a movie with him, and I'm from Sharon, Pennsylvania, which is Farrell, right next door. Farrell and Sharon's the same place. It's basically Western Pennsylvania steel mills.
Somebody spell feral for me.
Farrell.
So it's not like feral like a cat.
No. In fact,
No.
since you know, it's really weird because when this guy kept telling me I got a feral cat where I grew up, I said, "Oh, you got a badass cat." Because feral, my mother, I didn't know. May I just say, it's kind of an urban, tough area. You know, it's a tough
We
area.
can talk about anything, right?
Well, it's a black.
Well,
tough area.
he's a tough guy because I mean he's an actor, but he was in the movie Goodfellas, so that makes him
I
automatically.
used to fight with Boom Boom Mancini too. My whole
I was gonna
family
say,
was
he's
fighters.
also a boxer.
Yeah,
Ray-
I mean,
Ray- people don't know
Ray
it.
is still in. Is he in Pennsylvania?
who?
Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
He's from Youngstown, Ohio. He moved
Yeah, he's
back.
in Youngstown, Ohio.
Right, he moved back to Youngstown. Sharon's literally on the border, so when I'm older than you guys.
I'll be sure on that.
But what I'm saying, it used to be 18 to drink in Ohio, so I could walk right across.
Actually, you're not.
And but anyways, so I didn't know what a feral cat was. I had no idea. And so my buddy Jimmy George, I grew up with since I've been 5. He goes, "Man, we got these feral cats," and I go, "Really?" And I had no idea what they were, but
You thought they were cats from Farrell.
I swear to God, I said, "Well, you're bringing cats from feral, man. What are you having a problem with them or something?" And I didn't know what a feral cat was, but now I know.
So you grew up tough. Pretty
Yeah,
safe to
yeah.
say.
My dad was a
Surrounded
fighter.
by feral cats.
My one of 8. I fought. My brother beat Harry Aurora. He became a world champion, and then he had quit because of his long story, his jaw. And so my dad was going to turn pro, and then he lost his eye. So, and my sister knocked out a girl at one of my shows, and she goes,
It was not a professional fight. She was just having some aliens tequila.
Question: are we just going to let my dad lost his eye thing sweep by?
Oh, no, my dad was a roofer. He lost his eye with a baseball accident. The ball popped up and he back and he lost his eye.
Eye
And so
chihuahua.
he was 16, and he had a potential to turn pro. He's really good.
Didn't watch a lot of 3D movies after that.
Wow, that's really good.
No, but keep an eye out for you.
Or he could drive drunk.
Oh, I know.
I interviewed Ray Boom Boom Mancini recently, and he works with a lot of kids in boxing.
One of the nicest guys.
He is one of the nicest
He
guys.
really
One of-
is.
One of the things that said that it was a very valid point, because I did my fair share of educational television, is they won't allow boxing as a high school sport. Even with headgear. They'll allow wrestling and football, but they won't allow boxing, which doesn't make any sense.
I was the first 4-year letterman in my high
Makes a lot
school.
of sense.
Well, I don't know, but I was the first 4-year letterman in my high school. So I had a full ride at a lot of different places.
For boxing?
Well, let me finish.
Yeah.
For wrestling. But I don't understand why they wouldn't do that. I mean, it would make, I never thought about that, really.
Yeah, Ray brought up that point because he works with kids.
I have to tell you, football should not be allowed in high school. Football shouldn't be allowed in general. We are pitting these men up against each other, giving them brain concussions for our entertainment. It's like Roman gladiator stuff.
Oh, so you want the gay Roman gladiator?
Yeah.
I live in
A
West
nice
Florida.
man in a loincloth.
Without the helmet.
But there is no reason to be having human beings run at each other at that speeds, even with the helmets on. You see what happens to, and you look at Muhammad Ali after a lifetime of that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
but all these last 5 fights, I think he took a beating. Larry.
I think Zach will back me up on this. The last 5 fights, he was already doing magic tricks. That's what messed up his brain.
He did a lot
That's
of
right.
magic
He was into magic tricks.
That's right. That's right.
Muhammad Ali was into magic.
I got to go to his house with Franz Harari.
Chicago?
In L.A. He had a house in L.A. in Fremont Place, which is a gated community where Governor Jerry Brown lived and Linda Ronstadt and whoever else. But Muhammad Ali invited us to the house because he was into magic.
He was.
And Christopher Hart, the guy who played Thing in the Addams Family
saw him,
movies.
the magic
Yeah,
inventor.
he's great. And Franz Harari, the great illusionist, and myself, and there might have been a couple other guys there. And we sat around all afternoon and taught Muhammad Ali magic tricks.
Yeah,
So-
but the thing about him, he used to.
Parkinson's? How is it going
Yeah,
Yeah, Parkinson's, yeah.
Well, maybe that was part of it, having him work through it.
He liked magic, but
did.
because of his religious background, he didn't want to ever lie to anybody. So he would show people tricks and then immediately tell them the secrets.
and then he and Murray
I've
Sawchuk
never
were kicked
ever
out.
heard that.
Yeah, he always had little tricks in his pocket.
Yeah,
Phrasing.
and Carson loved Matt. You guys probably talked about it already.
No, we haven't talked about Johnny Carson, the
No,
great
he loved
Carson.
magic.
Yeah.
He loved magic.
He was the president of the Academy of Magical Arts at one point.
Who was? Johnny
Yes,
Carson?
Johnny
Carson,
Carson.
there you
Yeah.
go.
So was
Johnny
Cary
Carson,
Grant,
Orson Welles,
Cary Grant,
Cary Grant, Pamela,
serious?
Pamela.
Neil Patrick
Yeah.
Harris.
Yeah, then later on, Neil Patrick Harris, Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, bringing the Seinfeld thing back
And
together.
brilliant. He was actually a very good Broadway dancer and singer. Yeah, he was like
George Costanza?
yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he was,
I know. He did
He
full
was,
training.
he was a Tony Award winner, and when they put Seinfeld together, he was the only one on the cast that had
Was
like,
a real
lot of-
actor?
Yeah, that was already kind of a star in the theater world. And if you look at the credits on Seinfeld, you'll notice it lists the cast, and then it says, and Jason Alexander as George. That was part of the contract. That was like, back then was a big deal to have that extra little thing.
Yeah. And Andy
Heather
Davis
Locklear.
as
I'm gonna tell you
Alice.
something weird about
yeah,
it.
and Michael Richards, Jerry Steinberg, and Jason Alexander as George. So
So he's saying this. This is weird. I've been around so long. I know all these stories. I go to meet his agent, and
Jason Alexander's
yeah.
agent.
And I go, look, I just did this film, Goodfellas.
Swifty Lazar.
She goes, that's all you did? That's the only thing I've ever done. She goes, well, here, look at this. This is the guy I represent. He's on the front page here of, Entertainment for, and it was,
Jason.
it's Jason. She goes, he's talented. I go, well,
He's talented.
yeah, I swear to God.
He's talented.
Yeah, he's
What do you
talented.
got?
I got nothing, but that was, I can't remember. I just remember that. It was
He had the
57th and Broadway. Huh?
He had the hardest time working, though, after the show. Like,
Because he was typecast.
yeah, but the rest of them, Jerry didn't really want to work or whatever, but, and I guess Kramer, but he had a really hard time
Sick of
breaking out of
Jerry.
that.
So really what you're saying is Julie Louis-Dreyfus is the only
The
one
only
who
one,
worked
I guess
after
what I'm
the show.
saying.
No, she's done some great
But
stuff.
he put on it. I guess that's why he started wearing a toupee. I heard some story. Wasn't somebody telling you that story?
He was doing an inspirational
well, yeah,
speech, like
he
was
started
an
wearing a
inspirational
toupee and stuff
speaker.
just so that he could get work, so he didn't look like George.
Right.
Yeah.
People would think of him differently. But he
It
did a
does
great
something.
one-man show here in Vegas.
Bob Gold toured with his one-man show, Dodo.
Yeah.
The show
Dodo.
derives title from the nickname given to your late dad.
Yeah.
What is Dodo? That's right.
Dodo was his nickname. I mean, I think about growing up with your dad named Dodo, how many fights that was. But
I saw Bob's one-man show. There was a video version of it. It was excellent.
it's the best thing I've ever done. I mean, because you know why you dealt... I lost 3 people in 9 months. My mother on Christmas, my grandfather on Easter, and my dad on Labor Day. So either write about it or go to therapy.
I'm not going to your house for the holidays.
I almost have to be Jewish to get more holidays back. But
We're taking applications.
Yeah, but you guys, the Jews, they get the Jewish holidays, they get the Gentile holidays. You get both of them. It's
Did you say gentle holidays? Gentile.
What are you going to do?
I'm Italian
Between the
tired,
Jews and the
man.
Italians, or the Italians have better food?
They always say that, yeah. Like, they say Italians are like Jews with better food, and they say Jews are like Italians that can read.
Can people see Dodo? Is the video available on it?
Yeah, it's about 55 minutes. We actually sold that for a lot of money. They're going to develop it, and there's always one guy, there's always one person that either makes it or breaks it for you. And we had the deal set for a lot of money, $250, and we're going to do this show. And one guy, Low Mate, I'll never forget your name.
Say it again.
Low Mate, and believe me, I'm not done. I'm just starting. And so everybody, Laura Ziskin, the company who she wrote What About Bob, and she was a big producer. I mean, huge. And they had it, and then this guy passed it. I mean, have you ever been? Everybody here, seriously. You ever got in a situation you feel so high and so good that you achieve something, and then about 4 days later it just drops out? And that high is, I haven't had that high since yesterday on shrooms, but but that high was so high, and that letdown, it was just so depressing. Like, what can we do?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
That's showbiz.
That's why I'm happy I've never had that high. I've always just been really low.
Every time he gets another booking, yes!
You don't want to go down that low, is what you're saying. You don't want to go down that low, so you just keep it even.
I've learned to worry anytime things start going good.
Right.
Something bad is
Well,
coming down the pipe.
but the thing is, this is the truth too. And every comic, if you took it, oh God, I don't want to get into it. I'm not going to bring names up, but there's
Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm not going to name names.
No, with Jerry, I'm sick of
guy.
Seinfeld,
Who
by the way.
isn't? Who
No,
isn't?
he's complaining about being canceled. Cut me a
whatever,
break
bro.
already.
He was never funny.
But if you take Dennis Leary, for example, Dennis Leary took his stand-up act and went on stage and
No,
smoked a
hold
cigarette.
on. The act he stole from Bill Hicks, you mean?
I'm not going to get into that.
That's a whole other discussion.
But what I'm
Just
saying,
saying,
but no, there's a point. It's not a negative thing. I'm just saying is he just took his stand-up, whatever, and took that on stage and did it with a cigarette. Dodo was actually about, it'll make you laugh and cry and think about your family. So it was from. I had to write about it. We didn't go to therapy. I swear to God to you, every comic, and this is hard for comics because it's so self-centered. Every comic come up and said, that was the best thing. I want to write something now because it wasn't just about my act. It was about life. It was about, love and dying. And my dad, where I grew up in Pennsylvania, we never told each other we loved each other because you didn't do it as a sign of weakness. Now I tell my kids it's a sign of strength. I mean, I tell them every day. But we didn't do that. But my dad, even on his deathbed, I was trying to tell him I love my... We would do it through Clemente, incidentally. Hey, I love Clemente. Yeah, I love Clemente too. That was our way of saying it. I never looked my dad in the eye and said, I love you.
I love you by proxy. Yeah.
And
We both love Roberto Clemente.
Yeah, and so that was a weird thing that how in that Western Pennsylvania that I don't know, it just didn't do that. Like that, it wasn't a manly thing to do, I guess.
Tough guys. I mean, I worked with Coach Ditka for a long time.
Well, he's from the area, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you work in what capacity?
He was the towel boy.
I think he signed an
booked
NDA
him for public
I think he
speaking.
can tell you.
I made cigars for him and did some of his shirts
Right,
and booked
yeah.
him for
And-
public speaking.
Right.
And Coach used to get $50,000 from Caesars every year to be host Super Bowl.
Wow.
And then he'd give it back to him at the tables.
Yeah.
Until his wife found out that that's what was going on.
I won 10,000 here yesterday.
Yeah, lost 15.
Right here.
I don't know how you did that
How
because
did
it's
you
not
have a
gaming
question?
property.
That's what's supposed to be a stupid joke.
If it's not too deep, I have a question for you though. Like I recently lost a lot of people in a short span of time as well, and
We're promoting a comedy show.
yeah, right. But how did you find a way to laugh at that? How did you?
I wrote about it, and when you get people, as comics, we're not used to quietness. Zach is, but I'm saying
That's the way I like my shows, like a library.
but there's something about when you're talking about that everybody's in tune, and there's quietness, and they really are there. I mean, you're talking about when I thought my dad had died. I wasn't sure. And I used Clementi's in it all through it, how we show. Anyway, so there's something powerful about that you have everyone there, and you're not. It's just they're going with their emotion with you. It's really, and then you make them laugh. So you ask how you have to find the humor. I mean, I grew up in a fucked up family. I mean, I got my ass beat. I mean, I saw some horrible things. I mean, I'm a father. I haven't hit my kid just one, whatever.
Recently.
But no, I mean, I've changed. I mean, like, you can't, like, how I grew up, my dad would be arrested now.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of alcohol, dude. I'll just be honest with you. He was an alcoholic. And so, it doesn't give no excuse to beat up on your kids, but that's
It was a different time, though. I mean,
I hear that. I hear that, and it bothers me. And not because you say it, because you shouldn't hit up on any woman anyway.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting a spanking as a kid or
Right.
the belt,
Well, the cops would say, good. The cops would just take, they don't give a shit.
Let's talk about your professional career a little bit because Lorena goes, oh, I was in Goodfellas. So can we talk about being on the set on Goodfellas?
Yeah, I mean, the story how I got it, we don't have enough time. But
Sure we do.
No, we don't. No, we don't. But I'll tell you this: I was like Zach and everyone else. We do these one-nighters. We're driving home. I'm listening to John Gambling, and I had read a book, Wise Guys, from Nicholas Pileggi. It's the first book I've ever read, cover to cover, back to back. And there was a guy named Jimmy.
It's an audiobook.
I'm going to get
Give me a
you.
The kids all weekend, these two. Oh, these three all weekend.
That's right. The kid's cute. He's a cute kid.
Lorenzo's going to keep them apart.
That's actually funny.
Actually funny.
That's
That's the greatest compliment.
Zach Waldman is actually funny.
I got a review recently, from a show, and the woman said some of his tricks were actually good. It's a 5-star review. Some of it was really good. Okay.
And his Joni Mitchell story killed.
He always does well.
They pay in paradise and they put up a parking lot.
It's Tina Turner.
Callback. There's a callback.
Thank you.
Seriously, callbacks and everything. Yeah.
Whole lot.
Doug Close used to call
it.
the Herald.
Yeah, Herald was long form improv. Yeah,
But it was callback.
that was part of the Herald. Yeah.
Thanks for slowing us up. Okay, good.
You speak with such confidence about things. He
know.
was the Burger
I
King.
said I had breakfast with Doug Close.
Callbacks are heralds. I mean, oh my.
So you're listening to the book.
That's a good one. All right, go.
And so I've never read a book back to back. In prison I did because there was nothing else to do. But I mean, I read this book and I said, Jimmy the Jim Burke, oh my God, big family like me, tough, went to prison. I never killed anyone that we know of. And so I said, I could do him, And so I said,
Immerse yourself in the role.
well, at
already
the time
immersed.
I had no idea. I heard on John Gambling, Nicholas Pileggi said Scorsese might do it. I go, well, back then there was no internet or nothing. How do I get to Scorsese? I'm going to fast forward this, but John Gotti's people took me for a ride. Because I went down to Jimmy Gent's
You never want to hear that, by the way.
Well, he's dead now. Oh, Junior's still around. Yeah,
John Gotti's people took me for a ride.
No, they did. It was Frankie D'Amico had a part of it. So what happened I'll tell you what. I'll jump around. My AD's jumping. We were doing a thing called Frank. Did you know Frank D'Amico? He's a big Italian guy. Him and a wise guy own a club in Yonkers. And I went down to. I'm going to go back. I went down to meet Jimmy the Gent's daughter. I wouldn't know how he talked, how he moved.
Jimmy
all that.
who?
Jimmy the Gent.
Jimmy the Gent.
Jimmy the Gent in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Jimmy the Gent Burke. So I wanted to know how he ate, how he did. And I go to meet his daughter, and she goes, get the out of here. Don't give a shit about my dad. I said, well, just get out of this his place. Then I go down to Gotti's place. And the necks are out there, And I go, hey, and I go, listen, you think I could talk to John? They go, fuck you. And I says, I'm a comic. They're doing Scorsese's doing this movie, and I just wondered about Jimmy Jimber. You're what? You're what? An actor? He started laughing. You want to talk to John? Hey, do me a favor. You're a runner. Act like a runner. You're an actor. Act like a fucking runner. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck's wrong with you? The fuck's wrong? Anyways, so I'm with Frank D'Amico, and he owns the club in Yonkers. And Frank says, hey, Bobby. Now, I'm closing the show, and who was on it? I can't remember. And then he goes...
Tina Turner.
And so he says, I go, what? He goes, they want to talk to you. I says... So I go, it's like out of a movie. There's a guy driving, I'm in the front, the guy in the back. And I don't know if you ever, he didn't have a gun, but your knees get a little weak when a gun is to your head, where you get like, are they going to fucking kill me?
Yeah.
And he goes, what are you going down to Gaudy's place for? And I go, well, I just asked about the gun. The fuck's wrong with you? I just, you know, then you go down to daughter? Then you go down to see the daughter? You go down to see the daughter? What the fuck's wrong with you? And then I go, well, I'm like, you going to do it again? I'm not going to do it again. I'm thinking, if they kill me, who's going to close the show, by the way? I'm not thinking of it at the moment, but like, you know...
you do kind of look like De Niro when you make that.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a Joe Pesci.
No, you'll find... Anyway, so what happened was, I swear to God and my mother, this is a true story, when they finally said, you're not going to go down there again, right? I even went to fucking prison and tried to meet Jimmy the Gent in Lewisburg Federal. I knew they weren't going to let me. So I said, yeah, and then they started saying, hey, that's like old Jimmy. So they started telling me and all that. So when I went in, long story short, I never auditioned. I didn't even know what sides was. I go in, and Erwin Winkler, who did the Rockies, he was doing them. And so I called them up. There's no internet. I got to be friends with his assistant. I sent her a little cactus because she would always have that. And when I called, she called 30 days because they're in post-production. I had no idea what that was. I kept calling and calling. So eventually I went in, and they called me in for a meeting. I didn't know. I thought I was going to meet Scorsese. I go with a 9mm loaded, 2,000 cash, and handcuffs. So I figure, so I'm talking to her, and she goes, well, this is
He's a method actor.
Well, I was loaded too, and she said, the pinky ring was about $5,000. The kid let me, and so she says, all right, well, thanks for coming in. And I go, well, where's Scorsese? She goes, well, this was just a general meeting. I said, no, you could take this, $2,000. You could take this. And she looks at me and she goes, I think you need to go. And I'm like, at this moment in my life, I'm going, do I handcuff her to me? This way she can't get away, and then this way I'll be able to meet Marty. And I just... my hair slicked back.
Fine line.
And I'm talking like this, you know, saying, hey, you know, the thing, bang, bang, you know, talking like that. So she said, I think you need to go. And I went on a subway, and I cried. I'm like, oh my God, I spent 6 months of my life, I ruined every fucking thing. And I get a call about 2 weeks later, and her name's Ellen Lewis. And we want to do the doc on it, but she won't go on and talk about this. And she says, listen. And I swear to God, I get this call. She goes, is this Bob Globe? And I go, yeah. And she goes, this is Ellen Lewis. And instead of, she goes, hey, hi, how are you, Ellen? You know, totally different. She goes, listen, Scorsese will meet you. Come and get some sides, which I didn't know was. But
coleslaw.
Don't bring no guns. Marty don't like guns. Just come as you. Don't put your hair back. Just come as you. And I went in, I auditioned, and I'll never forget Scorsese's going, okay, no, you wouldn't grab him, because they had me, Tony Darrow, the singer,
No, Tony.
the part he played when they burnt down his place, that was the scene I auditioned for. I can't go here, I can't go that. I naturally, and I hear Scorsese, no, you wouldn't do that. So anyway, long story short, I do that, I come out of the thing to Warner Brothers. The first guy I see in New York, I go, oh my God, I just met Martin Scorsese. That's what I wanted. It was like a Rocky. I just wanted the audition. I go, I met Martin Scorsese. He goes, what do I give a fuck about? He just like walks by. And they called me up and they said they found something for you and they're going to give you this thing. And that was the truck driver. Jimmy the Gent Burke and De Niro. Because I even went into it. I swear, I told Ellen, I said, I don't give a fuck if De Niro's up there. You can't play this like me. And she's probably like, this guy's a fucking nut.
That's how we feel.
I don't think she was far off the mark.
Anyways, but the whole process of it was just naivete and just going for it, man.
I love it.
You know, I've had a conversation that's kind of interesting that comedians can act, but actors can't be comedians.
Oh,
That's true.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's a lot. You know,
Go see the movie Punchline with Tom Hanks and Sally Field. God bless them both. God bless them both.
You know,
Shout out to Barry Sobel.
Don Rickles. Don Rickles was a good actor.
No, Don Rickles was a great actor. Yeah,
he was a good actor.
yeah,
That was interesting.
yeah, and Buddy Hackett too.
Yes, I think because
Buddy
I don't know why. That's a good. Buddy Hackett.
Buddy Hackett was not great.
No, he did a great Love Boat. No, he did a great Love Boat.
He was fine. He was
Serious role?
fantastic.
Yeah, no, he did
And
episodes of
Music
Love Boat,
Man.
yeah.
And his version of Shapoopy will go down in history.
Yes. No, but
I
was
would
it-
not hold Buddy Hackett as one of the
But
world's
was
greatest
this is the world's
thespians.
greatest actor, but he could hold his own as an actor. That's what I'm saying.
You know, our friend Brad Garrett is a
Great
phenomenal
actor. Yeah, yeah.
You ever saw the Jackie Gleason?
Did a great job
And
as
he was
Gleason.
transformative, I heard.
Yes, he
Time
was.
Time what?
Transformative.
So, Bobby, we also, I don't know if it's true or not, but it said that you were in an episode of Saved by the Bell or the movie Saved by the
We
Bell.
shot Saved by the Bell here 3 weeks in Vegas.
So it was true.
Yeah.
So you were in the Vegas one or the
The final-
Hawaiian,
No,
the Vegas one?
The last one they did.
Yeah.
Where they got married and all that.
The movie.
The
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
So that,
Married-
that 30
wedding
million
in
people,
Vegas.
that did like 30 million people. And so we were here 3 weeks. We shot like different places. Yeah, 3 weeks. And I was with some guy, and we were chasing him around. And I remember saying to
Were you
them,
the bad guys or something? Or like,
yeah.
I tried to
We
rent
were-
the movie, but it was like $5, and I. Can you believe it's not for free on
That was a
YouTube?
deal breaker.
I hope you're still getting checks from it.
Yeah, I still get you.
Right on.
Yeah. You know, it's really weird. I only worked one day on Goodfellas. I worked the first day, incidentally. And they picked me up across from the garden. And I was sitting next to a guy, and we're talking to Scorsese's father. I'll never forget. But so when I just did this thing with Denzel, they held me. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they held me for 7 weeks. So I kept calling my agent. I kept saying, he goes, do I go on the road? He says, Bob, write this on the wall. Well, I'm going to get paid every week and don't work. I said, okay. They held me for 7 weeks.
And you got paid for every week. No, for the
and my
new,
reason-
there's a new Denzel movie that he did.
I made more money off that than I did 30 years of Goodfellas residuals.
Yeah.
And because they held me for 7 weeks, and it was a real quick scene.
Yeah.
But I kept saying, they're going to cut this, they're going to cut this. And they did, and I see why. But man,
What's
I mean,
the Denzel movie called?
The Little Things.
The Little Things.
Oh yeah, we saw that movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to watch
So
it
many
again.
shows.
I was
So Saved by the Bell.
quiet
What was your
so
part
many.
in Saved by the Bell?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I was a wise guy. I was a wise guy. It was me and the biggest Jew I ever met. This guy's about 6'6".
Brad Garrett.
You don't mean the
Brad
most Jewish.
Garrett, Garrett 6'7".
He was the biggest. No, he was from Nashville. I'll never forget. Great guy. I said, "You're Jewish?" He's like 6'6". He goes, "Mm." So he was like, I'm like grabbing the body. I'm like way back. I'm like grabbing by his ear. Get on here, get on here. And so when we were doing this, I said to him, I said, "Hey man, listen, you really don't hold a gun like that." He goes, "You know, Bob, it is a comedy, but don't you want me to keep it serious?" They go, "Yeah, serious but funny." Then I would start doing it, and they go, "Well, you got to pull back a little bit."
Saved by the Bell, baby.
Well, we did 3 weeks here in Vegas. It
Who's
was
this
great.
Belding guy?
Yeah, and
Where did they film?
you know, it was
Does
across
it
from
even
the
exist
Riv,
anymore?
across by the Riv.
Stardust?
I can't remember. It was at
Circus.
It's kind of, it wasn't circus. That's just for people in trailers. But I mean, it was.
And the Circus Buffet, all you can hold down for a
But
dollar.
it was fun. It was fun. You know, we did it. We just did it. You know, so.
Mario Lopez was just a kid.
And then I.
No, he was an adult. Well, by then,
was he?
He was 21 or so. I mean, he was.
Well, he was a wrestler also. We got different. But then I was doing Brea. That's when Screech came in and saw me, and I said, "Look, because I'm not dumb. I said, you want to do stand-up? I'll teach you stand-up." So I get him in 5 minutes. I said, "You go, you open. I'll get in the middle, and I'll close, and we'll come on stage together." We were packing them, man. We were packing the place
How
because
crazy was he? You know, we're about to play a game if we have time.
Yes, that's Dustin Diamond.
I did my research on Saved by the Bell, and Dustin Diamond wrote a whole tell-all book.
yeah. Well, I can tell you, I gave him Roger Paul. I said, "Roger, you take him. I don't want him."
So Dustin, he was doing wrestling, and Enoch did it.
I'm the one that got him to do all that shit.
Mario Lopez did collegiate wrestling.
No,
I
but
trained as a-
Mario Lopez was an actual wrestler in
Yeah.
high school. That's what I was telling you. I was a 4-year Letterman wrestler. The first one in my school. Mario Lopez, we got along because he had the hooks and he wrestled a little bit, you know. But yeah, but Screech, I took him and then we went on the road, man. We were packing, and then this kid and I don't talk about the death. He died, but like he just didn't know how to book nothing. Remember, he was taking care of since he'd been 11 years old, so he didn't know how to book flights. So I said I had to do everything, And then after a while, I'm like, enough. So after about 2 or 3 years, I mean, we're in Youngstown. Oh man, should I say this?
Yes.
So we're in Youngstown, Ohio,
Yes.
and there's this big.
You're wondering after all that if you could say Youngstown, Ohio?
No.
Think we're going to offend somebody in Youngstown, Ohio?
What happened in Youngstown?
Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
We're in a hotel in Youngstown, and they know me because I draw all them, plus the streets, we're packing. So what happened was, that's where I grew up, Sharon, Youngstown. And so we're in this hotel, and Screech says to me, hey, you think this African-American woman about 250? He goes, you think she'll blow me? And I go, I would imagine. You're like a celebrity, and, she's cleaning the room. I think she'll give you a blowjob. And then the next day, she moved to the next floor. I said, Dustin, you get it again. No, I'm sure he got some pussy, don't get me wrong. Not for her. I'm just saying.
I have a
For
question.
those of you in Youngstown, Ohio, we hope you were not offended by that story.
Yes, and sorry we had to edit out that segment of the show. But
I was
now,
ready to play the game.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, shout out.
Watertown, and Ed O'Neill's from Youngstown, which is a great guy.
Yeah, Ed O'Neill's a great guy.
They're married with children.
And, yeah, and
Black
and,
belt in
and, and,
jiu-jitsu?
yeah, and also Modern Family. But
black belt
going back
in
to
Modern Family?
Saved by the Bell, Zach and I both know our great friend Ed Alonzo played Max, the owner of the diner. on
Yes,
Saved by
I
the
was
Bell.
going to have a question about him, but then I forgot. Then I was like, oh, I'm going to be with
Well, how do you
magician.
know?
I went
How do
to
you know?
How about
high
the rules?
school with Peter Engel's daughter. We're
Wow.
in the same
Yeah.
high school.
Well,
Wow,
Pete,
that's the writer, right?
So you went to Bayside?
Rabbi Shapiro?
Okay,
That's on his land to
numbers.
repeat
Let me
again,
tell you how
my
much you sold it for. I never forget numbers. Can't remember shit because I'm so tired, but I can remember numbers.
Yeah, CRS.
He sold that series for 120 million, and
Peter Engel did?
Yeah, and so Peter also, when he produces Last Comic Standing.
Do you know, and the kids got paid nothing for it. It was like, and the no residuals. It was like Star Trek. Like, they got paid to do it and made no money from residual. I mean, Zach or Mark Paul is like, it is what it is. We were young. But they got not good.
Oh, they were making,
They got brown sugar.
They got brown
Yeah.
sugar. Speaking of which,
Speaking of
let's do this
which,
real
yeah.
quick because,
Rules of the game.
all right, I will make a statement. You must decide whether or not the statement is true or false. If you believe it to be true, you will say true. If you believe it to be false, you will say brown sugar. Now, these are not opinions. These are absolute facts. If you believe me to be in error, you can advocate for your position. But at the end of the day, I am the ultimate arbiter of what is truth and what is brown sugar. Are you ready to play truth or brown sugar?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, let's go. There's also a separate category in this particular game: truth, brown sugar, or stuff that Dustin Diamond said. The show was originally entitled Good Morning, Miss Bliss and took place in Indiana and starred Haley Mills.
Brown sugar.
brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
True.
True.
Went to high school with him.
Haley Mills?
Yeah, he knew it. He knew it.
You know who I confuse Haley Mills with is Patty Duke.
Oh, yeah. They look alike, they talk alike, God, they even
All right,
sound
but
alike.
Patty Duke
What
is
a
Clinton
crazy
too.
pair. They're cousins.
Lisa
Identical
Turtle.
cousins.
Was
Were
president
they
of the
identical
Screen Actors
cousins?
Guild?
Okay.
Was she president of Screen Actors?
Everybody in Canada,
Yes, she was,
or
yeah.
Kentucky, I think. Lisa Turtle was originally supposed to be the children of former Russian aristocrats.
Brown sugar.
Truth or brown sugar?
I don't know
Brown
what she
sugar.
is.
The black one.
I'm gonna go.
black
The
one.
black one.
Tootie.
I'm gonna go with brown sugar just because
It is brown sugar. She was actually supposed to be a Jewish princess, but when the actress auditioned for the role, and supposedly the story goes, I never believe any of these casting stories. I think they're made up for marketing purposes. But supposedly the Lisa Voorhees read for the part, and he was like, "That's it." And the casting director said, "But she's supposed to be white," and he said, "Not now."
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I don't believe those stories. Mario Lopez grew his hair out to look like Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. Truth or brown sugar?
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
True.
True. He didn't even know it was a mullet. He was like, I just want to look like Mel Gibson.
I never knew that.
Yeah. In the famous "I'm so"
Like, look
you'll
like a
love this
Nazi.
question. In the famous "I'm so excited" episode where Jessie was hooked on caffeine pills, she was originally supposed to be addicted to speed.
Brown sugar.
true.
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
True.
True.
Too
Hey,
edgy.
they went to school with her. Okay. You went to
It
that
was
school.
too edgy for standards and practices, so they made it caffeine pills.
Which is interesting because Family
Right, I was just
Ties,
gonna
there was
say
an
that.
episode where Alex P. Keaton gets addicted to speed.
But it wasn't crystal meth. It wasn't speed. It was like caffeine.
Snort, smoke.
Yeah, right, yeah. The legal stuff and the illegal stuff.
We
Oh, the
didn't
good
know
old days.
about crystal meth back then.
Ooh,
Vegas
Black
Golden
Betty.
Knights.
Bam,
Vegas
bam,
Golden
bam.
Knights
Ooh,
are the
Black
best
Betty.
team ever. Truth or brown sugar?
True.
True.
Why not?
It took 2 cans of hairspray to do Jesse Spano's hair. Truth or brown sugar?
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar. It only took 1 can.
1 can of hairspray.
Back in the 90s when it was real hairspray,
Yeah.
when the ozone was.
Things like
Get that
that.
Aquanet.
Mario Lopez was more interested in chasing girls than being cast in an unknown show.
True.
No,
True. He's a horn dog.
I didn't say brown sugar.
That's right. You just said no.
I said
Mark-Paul Gosselaar took steroids during the show. Truth or brown sugar?
True.
Or stuff that Dustin Diamond said.
True.
Oh, don't believe the Dustin
I'm
said
going to
that.
go
You're
stuff
Dustin
Dustin
Diamond.
Diamond said.
Yeah, it's stuff Dustin Diamond said in his book. He said, but I believe Mark did take steroids. I mean, if you're out there, Mark, I love you, and I did steroids too. Are you
No, that's it. We have a fog machine here on set.
honestly, kids these days? The theme song was written by the same person who wrote the Golden Girls theme song, Truth or Brown Sugar.
True.
Truth.
True.
This is a complicated one. His credits on IMDb said that he worked in music production for the Golden Girls, but does not credit him with writing the theme song. But other sources say that he did write the theme song. So let's just chalk it up to shit Dustin Diamond said.
How'd the song go?
Saved by the Bell?
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning and the nothing on a funny and you think you're gonna make it on time. Then I see you above the farmer, time and you get there to hit it at a $5 It's alright, cause I'm saved by the
I
bell.
want to make $1 million.
Tina Turner actually sang Truth or Brown Sugar. Tina Turner sang the theme song.
True.
Lord, won't you? Go ahead.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen caught Mark-Paul Gosselaar cheating on her with an extra in his dressing room
Absolutely
during the filming.
Must be
of-
true.
Yes,
Must be true.
Absolutely true. Dustin Diamond slept with 2,000 women. Truth or brown sugar?
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
One black woman.
And that's how we play.
Truth or brown sugar?
All right.
Appearing this weekend, Bob Gold, Zach Waldman,
Lorenzo Clark.
hosting
Scott.
hosting everything. I want to thank you guys for doing it. Enoch Augustus Scott,
Yes.
star of Zombie Burlesque.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
And big thanks to Ryan Ahern and everyone here at the
Coming up
Ahern
on the
Hotel.
September 1st.
September 1st with the big show, with the big orchestra.
PBS Orchestra?
Yes, with the PBS Orchestra.
Alien Tequila.
Get your tickets on Eventbrite.
Alien Tequila.
And thank you to Alien
Harris.
Tequila.
And of course, September 16th, get your tickets for Paul Rodriguez. Celebrate Mexican Independence Day
That's
here
September
at the Ahern
16th,
Hotel.
yeah.
Thank everybody at the Ahern Hotel. Thank the crew and everybody. Thanks, you guys. Have a great
Thank you.
Yes, thank you everybody. Great job. Great job, everybody.
for
Thank you
watching.
so much. What a crowd. All right.
Bye-bye.